Masechta Avoda Zara Daf Samachalaf Amar was starting from the Mishnah. So the Mishnah Amatah Yein like the Chab Mayisol, that was the threshing the grapes of a goy to make the wine kosher for to sell to a yid. B'shusay, but it was in the shus of the goy, or the hapasuch l'shus rabim. It was in his house that was open to the shus rabim. So if it was if it was a city in which there is goyim and yidden there, the wine is mutter even to drink, because the guy is afraid to touch the wine, because he's concerned maybe the yidden who are passing by someone will see it, and they'll say what's going on. But if it was but if it was in the city which is all goyim, then the wine is asma. Since there are no yidden passing by, so he's not afraid to touch the wine. Acha yeshav, till a yid will sit down, mishamer, and he's guarding that the guy shouldn't touch it. The shame of the yid doesn't have to be sitting the whole time to watch it. Even if he's just going in and out of the house, the yain is mutter because the guy is concerned the whole time. Maybe the yid will come out at any time. The Mishnah brings out Adas Hachalekes, Rabbi Shimon Elazar, the shus that the shus of a guy is one, and the Gemara will explain what that means. The Gemara now explains the din of yayin that belongs to a guy. Hamatay yayin shalev, that the yid is matay, the wine of the guy, and he places in the shus of the guy in the house that's open to the shus rabim. And the guy says, "Hey, I'm writing your shtar as if I received the money, and that I cannot hold you back from coming into my rishus to take out the wine from my rishus. Mutter, then the wine is mutter." But what's if it's a case if the yid wants to take out the wine from the rishus of the guy, and the guy won't let him take it out until he pays him? This was the exact same story that happened in the city of Beishan. But also the Chacham asked the wine, since the Yisrael has to pay him for that wine, and the wine is connected to a chay, so the guy is not afraid to touch it and to stir it for yain asach, because even if the yid will demand for what he did, the guy will say, "Hey, it's my wine. It's my wine." We learned the Mishnah in a city which is all goyim, the yain is aser. Even if it's a city full of goyim, it should still be mutter. You have these peddlers that are going back and forth, Jewish peddlers going back and forth into these cities, and the guy is afraid that maybe the yid will see him from the Rishus Rabim. Shmuel said, our Mishnah is talking about it's talking about that there's double doors with a crossbeam to close the door. So whoever came in, they would notice right away. So the guy had time to see who's coming in, to not touch the wine. So he's not afraid to touch the wine because he'll immediately notice when a yid is coming in. Zog the Mishnah. We learned the Mishnah here that there's goyim and yidin. The wine is mutter that the house is open to Rishus Rab. Rabbi Yisrael explains additional cases that where the wine will be mutter, even if the house is not open to Rishus Rab. For instance, Rabbi Yisrael, if there's a window of the yid that's open, can I get the entrance of the house of the guy? So the wine is mutter, or Rishus Rab dami, it's considered as the house is open to Rishus Rab and the wine is mutter, because the guy is afraid because the yid is living there and he will see him through the window and he won't touch the wine. In this little case is hashba. If there's a heap of garbage against the opening of the house, Rishus Rab dami, as a thing like Rishus Rab, the wine is mutter because it's the derech for the people to stand by the heap of garbage. So the guy is afraid maybe a yid will see it, so therefore he won't touch the wine. Vedikla, in a case of a date tree that grows connected to his house, the opening of his house, he has a din like Rishus Rab. since the guy is concerned the whole time, maybe a Yid will go up to take off Peiris or Lulavim, and he'll see what he's doing. Zak the Yimani the Pasuk, what's if they cut off the branches of the date tree, so there's no dates, no Lulavim? Pligi ba, so there's machlekes between Avach and Rabbi Chad Asa v'Chad Shari. One says it's Asa, one says it's Mutter. Man the Asa, the one that says it's Asa because the guy is not concerned that to touch the wine. He's not afraid because he thinks, Lamalei, this Asa. Why would anybody climb up a tree that has nothing on it? Man the Shari, and the one that says you're allowed to drink the wine because the guy is afraid, the Zimla, the Avoda Behema. At times, somebody will lose the behema, a Yid will lose the behema. He'll climb up that tree, even though there's nothing on it, just to search from afar where's his behema, and he'll see that the guy is touching the wine. Therefore, the guy is afraid to touch it. Inside the buyer who's a Jew, inside the Jew who rents the house in the chutz of a guy, umilo, and he filled up the house with barrels of wine that's shaykh to the Yid. We sold zar dar it's a chutz, and the Yid lives in that chutzar. The yain is mutter. Even if he doesn't have the key to the door of the house, meaning it's not in the hand of the Yid, and there is no seal on these barrels, since the guy doesn't have a shaykhs in the wine, he's afraid from the Yid that lives in his chutzah, and he won't enter into the house where there's the wine. But if the Yid lives in another chutzah, he says the yain is mutter. If he has this key or the seals on the barrels, so the guy is afraid to be messiah of the seal, take off the seal and touch the wine and then put a fake seal, because he's afraid that the Yid will find out, the one that lives in another chutzah. The Brais explains the din of wine of a goy in the rishus of a goy. A Yid that threshes on the grapes of it that belongs to a goy, and it's in the rishus of the goy. He sold the chutzah, and a Yid lives in that same chutzah. The wine is mutter, providing that the Yid has the key or there's a seal on the barrels. So therefore, it's gonna be mutter. Unlike Rabbi Yechon said to the Tana of this Brais, don't learn this Brais that there was only if he has a key or there's seals on the barrel. Learn rather learn even if he doesn't have the key or he doesn't have a seal on the barrel, it's still going to be mutter. Since the Yid is living in that chutzah, he's considered as a shomer that's watching the whole time. Gemara goes back and brings the hemshch of the words of the Brais Binyan, a wine of a goy v'shasagay, if the Yid is living in another chutzah, the yain is going to be aser. Even if he has the key and there's a seal on the barrel. Those are the words of Rav Meir. Till there's a Yid who's guarding and with the wine that the guy shouldn't touch it. Or till a person who's appointed to watch. How about the kitzin that comes at the specific times? So the guy is afraid to touch the wine. We learned in the Brais the Chacham Asa till there's a Shema that's sitting and watching. So the Gemara wants to know which Eifrim was the Brais talking about that the Chacham argue. Chacham Ahaya, which Chelik of the Brais were the Chacham arguing. Ilay Meifrim going to say Chalkim that they're arguing Asefa on this that it says by the wine was of a guy in the rishus of a guy, and he sold lives in another chutzah. Tanakama nami mesikasa. Even the Tanakama would answer it because the guy has nothing to be worried about. It's his wine. It's in his chutzah. And the Yid is living in elsewhere. He has nothing to be concerned about. Even the Chacham would say he's not afraid to touch the wine. Even the Chacham would agree to it. They don't argue there. Well, rather, it's talking about on the first case of the Sefer, where the wine belongs to the guy, it's in the shus to the guy, but the Yid lives in that same chutzah. They learn, even if he doesn't have the key, or the seal is not in the barrel, since he lives in the same chutzah, that's a davar pasha according to Rabbi Yochanan, that you're going to be lenient. And so you can't say that in this is where the Chacham are going to say it's aser. So the Gemara concludes that the Chacham cannot say for the Reisha. On the second case of the Reisha, when again the wine belongs to a Yid, which is found in the Shus, which is found in the Shus of the Goy, or he rented from a guy, but the Yid doesn't live there. The Kama that if the Yid lives with the Chatzah Acheres, the Yid lives in another Chatzah, Ayai Muta. This is providing that he has the key or there's a seal on the barrel. The Chachamim argue, till there's a Yid that's guarding it the whole time, or till he brings a memuna appointed person that at set times. So we learned in the Mishnah, if there's a memuna appointed person at set times, the yain is mutar. What are you talking about? Memuna about lekitzin greiyasahi. That's a big chesan. If he's designated at specific times, because the guy is not afraid to touch the wine the other times where he wasn't designated to be there. You have to be Magi the Brais. It means till the Memuna that was appointed to watch, that he doesn't come at any specific time. So he can come suddenly, and therefore the guy is always afraid, maybe he'll come. We learned in the Mishnah, one was matar the wine of a guy, a Yid was matar the wine of a guy, and he leaves it in the shus of the guy. If it was in a city which was full of guyim, the wine is aser. Gemara explains, what does that mean? That Rabbi Shimon Lazar is coming to be lenient. According to the Tanakama, the wine is also, even when it's lying in the house of the one guy, of another guy. Rabbi Shimon Lazar argues and he's lenient. Shebeshus guy, if it's in another, it's in the shus of another guy, it's mutter. Or if maybe it was said lahachman, that according to the Tanakama, the wine is not also only when it's munach in the shus of the owner of a beshus of another guy, it's going to be mutter. Rabbi Shimon Lazar will argue lahachman that in every place the wine will be yasa. So the Gemara brings hamachliks of Amarayim in this. Rabbi Yehuda Amar b'shem zidul hakil. Rabbi Yehuda said the name of zidul to be lenient. Rabbi Nachman b'shem zidul lahachman. And Nachman argued in the name of zidul to be more stringent. Rabbi Yehuda Amar b'shem lahakil zidul lahakil. Lachin kama Tanakama. This is how you have to learn the Tanakama. Keshem, just like if the wine was lying in the shus of the guy, meaning the owner of the wine, is aser kach nami aser. So too, if it was lying in the shus of a friend of this guy, it's also going to be aser. Even though the balabais designated the wine to put the wine in a certain corner in his house, and he's not touching that wine because he's afraid to be caught as a ganav. Nevertheless, we're concerned that the guy, meaning the owner, will use it as he will steer the wine. And the reason is because the chashina on the gaiman, we have to be afraid that they're going to get together, these two guys. They're going to collude, or they're going to get together, meaning that the guy where the wine is being, who's not the owner, who's holding on to the wine, will allow the owner of the wine to be menaseh of the wine. So when the Yid will come to buy the wine at a different time from the Balabayas, he will keep it by the second guy in order that he should be able to use it for Nischayayim. That it's also when it's mishusay, it's in the shus of the owner of the wine. But if it's in a different guy's shus, the yain is mutter. Since the yain is not the second guy's, he's afraid that he'll be caught as a ganav and he'll lose his job. So he's not going to touch the wine. And we're not afraid that they're going to collude these two guys together, and he's going to allow the owner of the wine to be menasech. So the words of Reb Shimon Elazar is explained in Lashon Tmiyah. It means that as every reshus of a goy would have the same din, if the wine is not in the house of the owner of the goy, the goy who owns the wine, it's mutter, because the goy who is holding on to the wine who's not the owner is afraid to touch it because he'll be caught as a ganav. So the Gemara explains the sheet of Rav Nachman Shem Zidei. Rav Nachman Shem Zidei lahachman, to be more stringent. And this is how you have to say the words of the Tanakama. What am I putting that it's also when it's Rishus, when it's Rishus of the owner of the wine, and the guy who's the owner of the wine. But if it's not in the Rishus of the owner of the guy who owns the wine, because it's not his wine, he's afraid to touch the wine, be caught as a ganav and lose his job. We're also not afraid that they're going to collude together. That even if the wine is in the house of a different guy, it's also because we are concerned that they're going to collude together, and if the owner is going to come, he's going to allow him to stir the wine as nischa yain. Tanya Kavasili Rav Nachman, we learned like Rav Nachman She'omar b'Shem Zil Achmer. That said in the name of Zidei to be stringent, that it's going to, even if it's another guy's Rishus who's not the owner, we have to worry about colluding. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, Kol Rishus Evdicham Machasi Mipnei Haramoy. All the Rishus of Evdicham, even if it's in another guy's Rishus who's not the owner, we have to worry about colluding. So we have proof that he's coming to be Machmer, and he's Ma'asers even when the wine is in the house of a different guy who's not the owner. There was a story Benegay to colluding the house of a person called Parzak, Shurefila, who was a Mishnah Lamelech, Chaysiba Chamra, placed wine that was purified, or it was mekashes through a yid, and he bought it on credit. Gabi Arisayu, and it was by the sharecropper. Their sharecropper was a guy. So Rabban Kamei the Rav Lemeima Talmidim that was sitting before Rabba thought to say that the wine is mutter mishum ki emes chayshin lagaimlan, because they're afraid to collude. Hani milech the kameisim hai gabe hai. This is only an oifen that is the derech to place one next to the other, meaning things to guard. But since it's not the derech of the sharecropper to hold on to chafetzim in the house of Parzak, Refila, his master, so we don't have to be concerned that the sharecropper will allow them to touch the wine, the owners to touch the wine. Zag the Gemara, Rabba argues and he asks the wine. Even according to the man the that's not concerned for colluding, that's only in the Eifen that the guy, the Balabais, is not afraid from the Balayayin. And so therefore, that's where and he won't touch, he'll hold back from using it as nischayayin. Since the artist is afraid of his master, he will cover it up. So even and he'll say that he never touched it, but the truth is, since the Bala Yain is not afraid to touch the wine, so the Yain is also, because the one that's holding on to it is afraid of his boss, and he'll allow him to touch it. So there was this village, the Havayos Beicham the Yisrael, where there was the wine that belonged to Yisrael was placed there. Ishtakach, And it was the guy found that it was standing between the barrels. Amar Rava said the din of this wine is if this guy was weak, and the fear of the judges of the city is upon him, and he's afraid to be caught as a ganav if they find him touching the wine. Then the wine is mutter even to drink it. They lie, but if the guy is not concerned to be caught as a ganav, then the yain is also even banal. Because for sure he touched the wine. Shall we turn to you, Perek Yishmael?